What's up, YouTube world? This is my first video here, so I kind of hope y'all bear with me. I'm not very good at putting myself out there like this, but I really don't have no choice no more. Man, I'm just gonna give it to you the way it happened. The only way I know how to tell it is to tell the truth of exactly what happened. So here we go, man. This is crazy. On June 20th or June 21st, 2020, which was Father's Day, I spent the whole day with my kids. My two children live with me. I woke up that morning, made them breakfast like I always do on Father's Day. We ate, spent the whole day being lazy, laying around. About that evening, I was expecting their mother to call them, because she's really good about that on holidays and, if there's public events at like school and stuff like that, she shows up then, to make sure everybody sees her there, like she's a good mother. But any other time, nowhere to be found. But anyway, is somebody out there? Sorry, but on June 21st, 2020, I was laying in bed, sound asleep. Had the fan going. I was out. All day of not doing nothing. I was tired. But anyway, sorry, I had a phone call coming in. But I was laying in bed asleep, snoozing. And all of a sudden I heard I was woke up from my sleep, like a big boom. And, I raised straight up in bed and I was sitting there listening, and I was looking at my dogs, and I had two blue heelers and they wasn't raising hell or nothing like that. So I was just like, well, nobody could be knocking on the door, because these dogs live for somebody to knock on our door so they can let me know that somebody's there, they go nuts. But they was just as confused as I was. As I was sitting there looking at them, trying to, I was telling myself that, I was having one of those lucid dreams when you think you hear something, and it startles you and you wake up, it scares you, and, you realize that, well, it was just a dream, so you go back to sleep. Well, as I was telling myself this, and I was laying my head back down on my pillow, as soon as my head hit the pillow, I heard the distinct sound of my front door being kicked in so hard that it flew open, hit the wall behind it, and then slammed right back shut. That's how hard my door was kicked in. And it terrified me. But survival instinct, I guess, kicked in, or being a dad kicked in, because I rolled out of that bed without hesitation, and I was headed for my front door so I could get in between whatever intruder or crackhead or whoever was trying to break into my home and either harm me or harm me and my children. And it's my job, and I have the right in this country. It says in our Constitution that I can protect my home and my family by any means necessary when we have not done nothing wrong. So as I was running out of my house through my bedroom, my house kind of makes a big circle back around to my living room. So as I was running out of my bedroom, and my house is sitting on a center block foundation. Anybody from the rural country, knows the center block foundation. Every time you take a step in the house, you can hear it outside. It sounds like thunder. But as I was running through my house, as I ran through my bathroom into my laundry room, I was hollering to the top of my lungs, to whoever it was, trying to scare them or just let them know that somebody was here. I reached up and grabbed a gun that the people that lived here before me, I guess they run off and left it and forgot they had it or something, but it's a 5-shot 38 revolver. It's not a automatic pistol with a big clip or something like that, and I found it as I was painting my laundry room, and it was up on top of the shelf, kind of pushed back toward, the ceiling. But I reached up there and grabbed it. I'm not lying. I thought I told myself, well, somebody finally done it. Somebody's stupid enough to actually think I got something in here worth breaking in here and stealing, or they're trying to hurt me, or they're trying to hurt my kids. That's the only thing that was going through my mind at the time. So I grabbed that gun, and I was in a dead run from my front door. And the whole time I was running through my house, the sound of me coming through there had to sound like a herd of cattle being drove through there. But I was screaming the whole time. I got to my front door, and I stopped because my door was shut. And I knew it was shut, but from me hearing it slam off the wall and slam right back shut, that as I was running through the house, I didn't know if they had opened it back up or not, because I couldn't hear, because like I said, I was running, but I didn't hear nothing. But I got to my door, and I stopped and just listened to see if I could hear anything, any kind of a noise. And there was nothing but silence. I mean, nothing but eerie silence. So I hollered again, "I've got a gun. I'm going to shoot you if you try to come into my home." Nothing but silence. I mean, nobody said a word. And right beside my front door, there's a window kind of catty-cornered up to the left. So I reached up and looked out the window, to try to see if I could see a vehicle or get any kind of a description. So, after I made sure whoever was trying to get in my home was gone and the threat was neutralized, and I picked up the phone and called the cops, I had something to give them, some kind of description or anything for them to go on, But as I looked outside, there was no vehicles to be seen. No, I didn't see nobody, and heard no movement, So I was sitting there telling myself, well, they must have left. Well, so there was no way I was going to be able to walk away from that front door without opening that front door and making sure they wasn't hiding right behind that door, just trying to fool me. So when I walked off, they could, then make their entrance and then either kill me or do whatever. So my door was clearly broke from where it was kicked in. I mean, I have pictures and everything of that. It's still broke, but it's fixed enough to where it'll shut and lock. But I will not fix it until court's over with. But so I reached down with my left hand with the pistol still in my right, and I snatched the door open just real fast. And as I snatched that door open, I was absolutely terrified and confusingly terrified, let me put it like that, because standing in front of me, about 10 feet away from me, was 7 deputies and police officers holding AR-15s, assault rifles, pointed directly at my head. And as I made eye contact with the first one I seen, I made eye contact with, what confused me the worst was I had knew this officer had just got fired from the town that I live in for basically misconduct. He should have been fired twice, but he had been terminated from the town where I live in Caraway. And I knew, it's a small town. I knew he had been rehired in another county, not even in the same county that I live in. I live in Craighead County in Arkansas. He was hired in Poinsett County in Arkansas by another little small town called Lepanto. And I had known that. So I was really confused why he was standing in my front yard pointing a rifle at me, because I had not done nothing wrong. I hadn't broke any law, no nothing. I didn't have no warrants, nothing. So something just struck me, something's bad off here. So and everything happened so fast. As soon as I jerked that door open and I made eye contact with him, the first time they said something loud enough where I could hear it was right then. And the dude hollered, "He's got a 357. And as soon as he said that, I thought they was fixing to start shooting. So I just slammed the door and pushed myself off of that door as hard and fast as I could. And I landed straight on my back in my hallway in case they tried, start shooting when I, slammed the door. I just knew they was going to start shooting at me. So I just tried to get as low as I could, so I landed on my back so they would maybe shoot over me when they started firing off rounds. But they didn't shoot, thank God. But as soon as I hit that floor, man, I was instantly just infuriated. Because, I mean, why would they make it seem like, to me, like they wanted me to think somebody was really breaking in my house, because they didn't knock and announce themselves like they're supposed to. They didn't, honk or, they parked their vehicles over 2 blocks away from my home. So there would be no cameras and no audio would catch none of this or nothing like that. They honestly come, I think, to kill me that night. I really do. Because I have had confrontations with a couple of them. And I think they was fixing to get back at me. Well, it turns out my ex-wife that got me in trouble 16 years ago done the same thing to me this time, and went and told my brother, which my brother is an ex-Marine. He drinks a lot, but my ex-wife's an alcoholic. She caught my brother intoxicated. Well, we hadn't talked in over 5 months. I had not spoke a word to my brother, my blood brother, and my sister in over 5 months because they don't agree with, we just, basically a disagreement on how to live our lives. It wasn't that I hated them or they hated me or nothing like that. It was just a disagreement, a family disagreement. I hadn't talked to them, because I thought they owed me an apology, and they probably thought the same thing with me. So my brother, being drunk, they went to, first they called a deputy sheriff here in town that, I really don't want to get started on him, but let me give you a little backstory. I was dating a girl probably a year and a half ago. Well, this deputy, Chris Kellums, was sending this girl pictures, dick pics. I mean, let's just be honest here. He was sending her dick pics. She came up to me and showed me. Well, it pissed me off. So I messaged him and tell him if he sends another picture. He was in uniform, in his Craighead County outfit, his deputy uniform when he sent this. I told him, I said, you send another one, I will put it on social media for God and everybody to see. Well, he messaged me back telling me, don't do that, whatever, this and that. And, well, when I done that, it pissed him off. Then he had it out for me. And he was not going to stop until he had me thrown in jail or the penitentiary like he had told everybody he was going to. Well, to come to find out, probably 4 hours before they even kicked in my front door, they had started planning this. This deputy got in his personal vehicle while he was off duty, and he was intoxicated at the time. Him and his wife drove to my sister's house, and he sat there and showed and told my brother and my oldest sister and my ex-wife exactly what to write and how to write it in that report, so that would give them probable cause to come speak with me. Well, and he knew that the cop on duty at the time here in Caraway was not even a certified police officer. I mean, he's not even been trained, y'all. He is basically a civilian they picked up off the street, give a badge and a gun and arresting powers, slapped him on the ass and said, go get him. That's failure to train right there. That is dangerous. He didn't know what to do. And this deputy and the chief of police where I live is this deputy's fucking older brother. So, it's crazy. They end up charging me with 5 felonies. But right now, the prosecuting attorney, last I heard, I had to pay $10,000 for a lawyer. Prosecuting attorney said they're going to drop all charges, but they wanted me to plead to a misdemeanor. I said, no, I will not plead to nothing. I have not broken a law. But I need somebody to help me. Some lawyer or somebody, please get in touch with me to help me.